Howdy, y'all. Let's talk about the different body types and how we end up burning fat or sugar. All right, so basically there's three different body types. Everybody is one or a combination of these ones. Usually you don't see somebody who's like, oh, we're just an endomorph or just a mesomorph or just an ectomorph. So these big fancy words here, fatties, musclies, skinnies. Okay. Yes, those are muscles because I'm such an excellent drawer. All right. So endomorphs. Endomorphs are usually the people that have been heavy their entire life. Though that would be me. Was heavy on the endomorph side. Carry the weight usually in the lower half more. Is pretty typical. But I was also a combination of a mesomorph endomorph. So I actually have a ton of muscle. I pack on a lot of muscle. I keep a lot of muscle. I have a lot of metabolic muscle, but I also had a lot of fat too. So you can be a combination of the two. Ectomorphs. Ectomorphs are the little skinny guy that you see that runs around and eats anything they want. They'll pound down, a half rack of beer and ribs and chips and then go out to Dairy Queen afterwards, and they are just as skinny as a skeeter, but they also don't have any muscle. They have like the chest of a 12-year-old. So those are the kind of people that are actually sugar burners. Their bodies are very well adapted to eating a lot of food. It doesn't matter what kind of food they eat, but eventually it usually catches up to them. Usually you start seeing, for men, you'll start seeing these guys start to get this little, it's kind of funny because they'll just get this little pudge going on once they hit their 30s. And I'm not a proponent of age has a big effect. It's usually our lifestyles, because we take on the consciousness of that particular age. Usually, you hit your 30s, you've got kids, you're not working out like you used to, you're not doing the goofy stuff that you did when you were younger and burning a lot more calories. So usually you do end up seeing these people gain weight, and they are the skinny fat people, okay? I know you've got girlfriends out there that are skinny fat, don't have an ounce of stinking muscle on their body, but yet they're still a size 4 or a size 6, and you're like, oh, are you serious? But if you were to put them like on my in-body composition, they would be 25 to 30% body fat, which is high. That's obese. But yet they don't look obese. So those are your sugar burners. Most of the time, these are your guys that are like naturally muscular, always have that build, that look, going for them where they're just like, you suck. Okay, these are your fitness models for the most part. Okay, so these kind of guys, they usually have really high metabolic rate muscle. They usually don't have a lot of issues with gaining weight. They might pack around an extra 20 pounds or so, 10-20 pounds, and think they're fat. So those are the kind of people that usually enjoy kind of the best of both worlds and can eat actually quite a bit of protein, fat, and carbohydrate together. So this kind of person usually has the type of metabolism that can get away with eating just about anything they want. Now, if you're on this end of the spectrum and you're an endomorph, it's not the end of the world. I did it, you can do it. You just have to work a little bit harder. You really do. And I don't say that to discourage you or anything like that. I'm just being real. People like this can get away with free days once a week. If they really want to be lean, people like us can get away with a free day once a month. So that's kind of the difference. We're just set up adaptive wise and metabolically in a little bit different way than somebody else. And knowing and understanding where you fit on here will save you years and years and years and years and years of frustration. Years and years of frustration. Because if you're this and you're on a diet like this guy here who's eating 90% carbohydrates, 10% protein, and like no fat, I'm going to tell you, you're going to gain 50 pounds in 2 months eating that way. Where this guy will get skinnier. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about here. Here is our big bonus. We are fat burners. Yes, our bodies actually prefer to burn fat for fuel versus sugar. Sugar is a very dirty energy. It doesn't last very long. Your muscle can only hold 45 minutes worth of glucose in them. This is why endurance runners are switching to, a lot of your endurance athletes are switching to a ketogenic diet because they don't have to stop and suck down those sugar gels every hour when they're doing a marathon. They become keto adapted, learn how to burn fat for fuel, then they'll suck down half a cup of peanut butter on their as they're running down the road, and they end up getting better times, better adaptation muscle-wise, and a lot longer endurance muscular-wise, because it doesn't burn up so fast. Sugar is really dirty energy, and it burns like that. It burns very fast, very quickly. And so that's why people get fatigued. This is why you see those pre-workout drinks or post-workout drinks. They're sugar. Because they're going to give you that boost. All right. Well, if you've already got the glucose in your muscles, you don't need it. And if you want to be a fat burner, those are going to make you sick and they're going to make you fat. You're not going to feel good when you take those because your body doesn't like to use that form of fuel. So the good thing is that we naturally store a lot of fat, but we're actually fat burners. We actually prefer that fuel to burn. So when you get into this state, when you switch over to your skinny switch, when you're eating your food, your body is naturally going to dip into those fat stores and utilize that energy versus sugar. Now, it can take some time to get adapted to that. And not everybody, and I use the word keto a lot because I do keto. It's not for everybody, because you can still do like a paleo diet where your carbohydrate levels are 100 grams or less for the day, but you're a higher protein, higher fat content, and you're more organic and more natural foods. Highly recommend that. It takes about 3 weeks to 3 months to switch over to total fat burn all the time. I'm in fat burn even if I have a free day and eat a bunch of carbohydrates, I will still be in fat burn. And that is by measuring my blood ketone level and also by measuring the acetone levels from my lungs. So those are easy ways to see if you're in ketosis and you're staying. It just pretty much means that the body has adapted to burning fat. It likes to burn fat for fuel. There's so many benefits to burning fat for fuel because the brain can only run off of 2 forms of energy, and that is fat or that is sugar. Sugar runs out, you're screwed. Screwed. You always have fat stores. Always, 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 always. If you were on a boat out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean for 30 days and you dropped 50 pounds because you're not eating anything, your brain will still function because it's going to burn your fat stores for fuel. It will switch that energy switch over and start to burn that for fuel. So your brain will still function. If you're a sugar eater, you're gonna feel like total crap. I mean like crap. The brain is like, I can't work. I don't know how to switch over to burning fat for fuel. Now it'll eventually happen where it'll burn fat for fuel, but if you're skinny and you ain't got no fat, you ain't gonna have much reserves there to last you. So there's reasons why we are this way. So just learning which one you are, and on your next appointment or whatever, like if you want to to find out, but usually all you have to do is kind of like look at your body type. It's pretty simple. You'll be able to see that you're either one of these three or a combination. You can be this combination, you can be this combination, usually not this combination. That doesn't really work. All right, so those are the three body types: fat burner, sugar burner, jerkwad that everybody hates, but we all love looking at. Right on? Yeah, my hubby's like that, little jerk. Anyway, so those are the three body types. Learning about the three body types will save you years of frustration when you learn how to eat to win and stack the deck for you instead of against you. All right, keep thinking thin so you stay skinny. All right, we'll talk to you later. Happy trails.